Freeway.
Right. So here we are again with Abandon All Ships. I'm David Priest, the Metal Priest, here preaching the gospel of heavy metal once again. We got the Metal Priestess here. Actually, my spawn, my daughter.
You're his daughter.
Yeah, how about that? And teaching her the ropes here. And this is one of her favorite bands that are coming out. And I'm a little bit more of the old school thing, but I dig some new stuff as well. Just jumping right in, with the first question here that I got for you is, there's a lot of hearsay out on the internet there that you guys have like a spiritual message and a Christian message, but then there's times that you don't. And listening to some lyrics, I'm like, okay, you have this positive-minded sound over here, and then there's some that's like not so positive. And I'm just curious, where do you guys stand? How do you balance it out? Clear up the confusion for us a little bit on this.
This is like I honestly answer this question so often. It's honestly, being an artist, you can write about whatever you want.
Okay.
You want to write about a tree. You can write about a sidewalk. You can write about God. Anything that interests you. It's just an artistic vision of anything, right?
Okay.
It's true.
Personal convictions, though. I mean,
I believe.
It's like you're straddling the fence, and it's like,
yeah, dude. Like we believe in God. We definitely believe in God. Yeah.
In Jesus, you know what I mean? It's like we're
but like
Catholic.
To be branded as I think it's actually like, I say this often as well. Like I think it's kind of weird to be branded as a Christian or Catholic religious group, seeing as that we don't follow the. I hate to say it, but like I feel like a lot of bands like use it as like not a gimmick, but as like a way to gain like an extra audience outside of the music. Like it makes me feel uncomfortable personally to walk around being like, oh yeah, like we believe in God, like whatever, we're a Christian band or whatever.
Right.
And a lot of people did label us that at the beginning, and it's honestly just not cool with us. Like we just don't. We don't care. You can call us whatever you want, but
yeah, I totally hear with you. It's been a long time that I've battled that whole. Okay, how come this band's a Christian band, but these guys who are Buddhists aren't a Buddhist band?
Yeah, it's like
and I understand what you're saying in that, but the criticisms or the fears that I've felt some people might have is that if you tend to lean one way, then you do something completely contrary to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, is it just from an outside perspective you're addressing?
The problem with that exactly is that I just don't give a fuck. So like I can believe in God, but if I want to, tattoo myself, which I don't want to do, but let's say I did, I wouldn't care if people who didn't, like our fans, I wouldn't care if they thought, oh, you can't tattoo yourself on God. So that to brand it as like, this is the kind of band we are and this is what we stand for is not cool with me. I just don't care.
Right. Which, brings me to the next question. You guys are actually producing my vocabulary here. What's the name of the song? Evie. Yeah. I've never even heard of it. I'm like, okay, there's a word. Which, of course, you guys shit, and that. But then some of your lyrics would kind of dictate that you do care some way. Sometimes. It's people take it, when we started saying what it actually meant, it's more of a Toronto-based word, like, a lot of like, I don't give a fuck, right? Like, whatever I do. And like, people took it so literally, like, you can like read our lyrics like, oh, they clearly cared about something at some point. It's just more like
like sometimes you just don't give a fuck.
Not even something, yeah, like not even sometimes, just like, it's more like take everything lighthearted, in my perspective, like, like, oh, we make fun of each other all the time. And if I gave a fuck that people were making fun of me all the time, like in our bus, I'd probably offend me, but I just don't give a fuck. It's funny. So, I don't know how to explain it properly, but.
So as a band, you guys are, necessarily take yourselves all too seriously.
We're homeboys. We just want to hang out. We just want to hang out and write music. I don't care if you don't like our band. I don't care. Go buy our record. I'm still gonna write music with my friends.
That's the right attitude.
Who cares?
Okay.
But I go on the road, probably not, because
your guys' song "Take One Last Breath." What was your motivation? Where does it stem from?
16-year-old kids writing music in a garage. I don't know. It's a pretty religious song. The problem with the songs on Giving, in my opinion, is that we wrote those songs when we were very young. We were like legitimately 16. We're 21, 22. Like we wrote those songs like legitimately like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and like to try to relate back to them is like almost impossible now. I think most artists have that problem.
And she's 16, so she's trying to relate now. And
see, like the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, there's still connections with the songs and what the songs are about. It's just it's hard to like. It's like writing a love song and like loving a girl for so long ago, like like 10 years ago, and you go back to it 10 years later, and you're like, it's like, well, I remember that I loved her, but I don't feel that. You know what I mean? I don't feel it anymore. So. We were writing songs 60 years old in a garage, eating Popeyes.
I mean, obviously,
like, I don't know.
You guys have a pretty youthful crowd.
Yeah.
And words are important to an extent because, people, that's where they're drawn in and they want to identify with that in some way. So a lot of them are picking apart what you're saying and where you're coming from.
For sure. And the new record's definitely written on more of like a direct level. So you'll probably understand it better than so generalized.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
So maybe people will be able to easier relate to the new record. When you say, I fucked up at this point of my life, I shouldn't have done that. It's like, not more of a general concept of like, sail away from the shore. It's like, what could that mean? What were you thinking? Yeah. It's like, well, what I was thinking when I wrote that I fucked up, I shouldn't have cheated on this girl, is I probably shouldn't have cheated on this girl because I fucked up. Kind of thing.
No, I hear you. And the youthful, 16-year-old, I talked to Scotty from Anthrax one time, and he's talking about, like, I didn't know what the fuck I was about. I was writing songs about Judge Dredd, so,
exactly.
I totally hear what you're saying.
Still love those songs. Another problem with that record generally is that half of it was written when we were 16, half of it was written when we were full, like mature adult. Well, not mature, but we were like 18 years old.
Yeah, be careful what words you're
definitely not mature yet. We're still mature.
For my next question, I want to know, where did the idea of incorporating techno come from?
It was music we kind of liked, like growing up. We liked this kind of music and techno and dance, so there you go.
It's just kind of a taboo thing when it comes to metal. I was like, really? Like,
we get these questions.
Trying to alienate some people here?
No, we get these questions often. It's just we answer them slightly different every time, so people might get confused. But it's when it comes down to it, like honestly, how this was born was Seb called me one day and said, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this keyboard," and I'm like, "Nah, why?" And he's like, "Cause let's try like doing something weird," and then. I was like, well, okay, I don't know. I just buy a keyboard with presets, bro.
It made a cool sound.
And we walked into a room and we sat there and we're like, this is cool. And then one time we were at Anthony's house and our producer, still producing our songs, still helping us write our music, the best guy in the world. Wish he was in our band, but whatever, that's besides. But we found auto-tune because we made a mistake. And he pulled the thing all the way up and it made a cool noise. So we wanted to put that cool noise on our music.
That's the one thing that killed me, man. I was like, this is aggressive, and the auto-tune came in, and I'm like a complete hater of auto-tune.
There's no auto-tune in the new record.
I might actually join I mean, it's a love-hate thing. I'm like getting into the aggressive. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, and then the auto-tune kicking in. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like T-Pain, man.
Huh?
You like T-Pain?
We never even, honestly, man, we never even knew what auto-tune was when we put it on. I didn't even know what to call it. I didn't know, later on, people were like, auto-tune. I was like, I guess that's auto-tune. I don't know. So, it's just strange how, like, life, like, unfolded. Because, like, it's so used now. A lot of people use it, and, like, obviously it's very big in the mainstream world.
Right.
It's just funny that, like,
pop, R&B type, genre. And I appreciate, like, I'm more of a fan of, like, older school R&B and stuff, before the whole auto-tune thing came out. So, and then more and more people are jumping on it. And even like recently, Alice Cooper had it on his album. And I was just like, dude, really? Yeah, he put it on his album, like the first song, and I'm like, oh my god. It's like, talk about trend following.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I still like it. Like,
well,
we didn't put it on the record because we didn't feel like the record needed it. Like, the record's written like pretty calculated. Like, we sat there and we said Martin and like we literally like built that record from scratch. We didn't have no end goal in mind. We just wrote like. I can be honest and say that I actually enjoy listening to the songs on our new record. It's something I actually like enjoy. We had a good time writing it. Positive vibes bled into it. And if we saw the ending product, then we just were like, should we put auto-tune on it or should we not? We listened to the song, like, I don't think it needs it, so we didn't put it. But if it did, I would have. gladly put it. It's like doesn't bug me.
At least you've got your reasoning down.
Yeah. It's not we did like a lot of people I know when the records come out, people are gonna be like, oh, good, they took the autograph, they took like our advice. I didn't take no advice, bro.
I hear bands do crazy things before going on stage. Do you guys have any rituals you do?
There's this thing that I do. It's like vodka, it's a chaser, and I drink it and then I get on the stage.
That's his ritual.
It kind of works. It works for me.
It's a disease called alcoholism. Yeah, popular with many kids
I
our
think the
age.
church next door might be able to help you. Maybe.
Nah, I'm good. Honestly, I don't think we do anything. We just kind of just walk to the stage. I don't even warm up. I don't care.
You guys really are laid back.
Dude, I think people have this really twisted image of us. We're literally just homeboys. We just want to sit around and do nothing on the road and like walk on stage and have fun with everybody. You know, if you don't like, you know, bands get so like caught up with the whole like, oh, like we have to like make the right decision. So I can't say this on stage. Like I should dress this way. Like,
I have to ask, with that attitude, that mentality, with that attitude, how did you guys land your deal? You know, being kids and not having, you know, that much of a care. You know, I mean, obviously music's important, but you guys are still.
Honestly, a lot of people also think that we're a fairly newer band, and well, we've been around since 2005. We were touring in like 2008, maybe. And we signed to a label called Underground Operations in Toronto, actually. It's our buddy Mark, and he's also our manager. And like we got our start there, and then we signed to a major label after that, Universal. And that kind of spawned everything in the sense that we had a reality show in Canada. So I guess that took an interest, and the American labels took interest in that, along with our songs. Because apparently this style of music was getting popular here. Another thing I really didn't know all about. So I think that's how we got our American deal. I know. That's like saying like it's hard to say that like because a record label like your music and be like, oh, this band's awesome, let's put their CDs in stores. Then you walk on a tour and it's like, you know what, I like this band, and then they go buy your record. So like us caring, obviously we care about quality of song. Like I'd rather sit at home and write songs all day instead of tour. But to get so like caught up with it, like, oh my god, I need to like do my hair a certain way, I need to like act a certain way in front of my fans, is like crazy to me. Like I couldn't bring myself to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I also have this bad like asshole reputation. I probably come off pretty wrong to people. Like got the wrong idea of me. I'm just Italian. I'm just being myself.
Okay, last question. What's your plans after this tour? You guys doing any summer festivals, Warped Tour, anything like that?
No, what's the
Warped Tour,
releasing the record?
releasing the record, you gonna go back out?
We can't talk about it really. It's doing something in the summer.
It's
One of those
it's
things.
top secret thing.
Yeah, it's not announced yet.
Good things.
Good things. Just excited for the record. It's been a long time. We've been playing these songs for like literally like 7 years, 6 years without to stop playing them for a while. Just like playing new stuff.
Oh, we're releasing the single.
Oh yeah, this tour finishes. We're releasing the first single off the record. It's called Infamous, and the first single's called Infamous.
Do a video for it also?
We have a video for it.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll look forward to the album, and next time you guys come through, we'll watch for the video. Appreciate it.
And roast.